mountains of North Carolina, hunkered down in a bunker, there lives a man with his family patiently awaiting the passing of the COVID-19. Armed with a passion for cooking and an even bigger passion for eating, James emerges with his wife Kate and kids from the ashes of total annihilation to bring you food from the COVID apocalypse. Let us infect your taste buds.
The gourmet apocalyptic cooking with instinct or something.
Oh, hey, how you doing? Welcome to the Gourmet Apocalypse. This is our second episode. I hope you enjoyed that last dish we created with the pork. This week we're gonna go a little bit different on you. We're gonna go ahead and do a seafood item. This is actually something I used to make as a special when I was at Brazil's Fine Food. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna utilize a couple different dishes. Being in the more landlocked part of North Carolina in the mountains and we're not on the coast, it's a little harder to come by better seafood, but you can find it, you just have to spend a little more money to get it. So with that being said, we've got a pan sauteed red snapper topped with a shrimp and mango Chambord butter sauce. Okay, so there's a lot of different flavors here. There's gonna be some sweetness, we're gonna put some spice in it, and I think you're gonna really enjoy it. We're gonna place that on top of a bed of homemade rice pilaf. So let me just jump right in here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start with the rice pilaf. The main reason for making the rice pilaf first is this dish is not gonna take you a long time to make. It'll take you a little bit longer just prepping it, but really we can knock this thing out quick. The longest cook time will be the rice pilaf, which will take about 30 minutes. So I did say we're gonna top this dish with some shrimp. When we top it with the shrimp, I usually buy shrimp that have all the shell on. The main reason why I do that is I like to take the shells, which is what I've got here. I took some shells and I actually peeled the shrimp and left the shells. And I am going to basically take this and put it into a quick stock. Now, this is gonna be kind of a mock seafood stock. It's gonna be more of an infused stock. Because I'm gonna go with, like I said, I use Swanson. If I don't have my fresh stuff, I use the Swanson stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and start this out with 2 cups of chicken stock. If it'll pour, it's pouring. It's pouring. Here, pour. There it is. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so I'm gonna take that. We're gonna pour it directly into our pot, just like that, see? Ooh, yeah, that's great. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take these peels, the shrimp peels, we're gonna infuse this just like that, see? Just like that. All right, we're gonna put that on the heat, get it going. We want it to be a rolling boil. This is a quick infusion of a little seafood into the stock. The stock is gonna be used for the rice pilaf. All right, so now that we have that done, we're gonna cut up an onion. So make sure, ooh, I've got an idea. So we've got these onions like that. I'm gonna peel this bad boy. Main thing is, like I said, I usually freeze it, but if I need it now, I'll just throw those right into the stock that I'm kind of souping up here. Just throw that right in. And like I said, I got that on high heat. The next thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna get the onion cut. The onion is gonna be for actually the rice pilaf. We're not gonna throw it into the pot. I've got also 1 cup of rice, okay? So 1 cup of rice. When you're making rice, the main thing is that you've got a ratio. If you've got 1 cup of rice, usually what manufacturers and what they call for is maybe 2 cups of water. I never do a 2 to 1. I will do 1.5 cups. So for 1 cup of rice, 1.5 cups. I just don't like my rice overcooked, and usually 2 cups will bring it, and it's just too cooked for me. So let's get these onions cut. Oh, I should have sharpened this knife. Woo! I'll save the rest of that onion. I did have a little bit of green pepper left in my refrigerator. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in there. Boy, that's a weird one. Doesn't want to cut. Why don't you want to cut? I'll just knock that out. Just like that, just like that. You just gotta cut it sometimes, you know? All right, now we're gonna throw some garlic. You remember this from the last episode, don't you? Yes, see, I make a point of showing you. I think my mom really enjoyed that part of the last episode where I went over this wonderful gift, but I'm not gonna rehash that, no more. Okay, like I said, I love garlic. So now we're gonna, oh, this is so much easier. Oh, that's right, there we go. That looks good. Remember, don't waste the garlic. I'm gonna throw a little pepper into the stock. Now we're just gonna bring that to a boil and let it get a rolling boil, and then after about 5 minutes it should be good to go. And then we will get this rice pilaf knocked out. Okay, so this is what we got going on. Like I said, we've been boiling down our shrimp and chicken stock, and it's ready to come out. Literally, I boiled it for maybe 5-10 minutes. It also reduces down the amount of stock that I've actually put in. I put 2 cups in, so it should be a little bit less than that now, since it's been boiling off. So you can just take it and just pour that right in. Strain it out so you don't get the peels, of course. Just like that. Just like that, and that's perfect. And then all those peels come out, you're good to go. Very good. Now we have, perfect, 1.5 cups of stock. That's our liquid for our rice. A lot of people just use water, but this gives so much better flavor as using a stock. Okay, so what we're gonna do, first we're gonna get us some butter. We're gonna do for this, we're gonna do for 1 cup of rice, I'm gonna do about 2.5 tablespoons of butter. Get that melting down. So as that melts down, just to give you a quick overview of what we're gonna be doing. So we're gonna saute the onions and the peppers. We'll sweat them out a little bit, literally maybe 1 or 2 minutes. And then we'll add the garlic, and then we'll add the rice to that. And then the final step will be to add the seafood stock. Now, another thing, we're gonna put a little bit of 2 spices in. I'm gonna put about a teaspoon of thyme in the stock, just like that. Don't want my butter to burn, so I'm gonna slide it off the heat. And I'm gonna do a few bay leaves also. Let's say 1, 2. Ooh, these are big. Let's do 3. I love bay leaves, gives great flavor. All right, so we got our butter starting to brown a little bit, so we better get this in here. Just use your hands, push it off in there, just like that. And don't forget, wash your hands. It's the apocalypse. Oh, sorry about your camera. Okay, great. All right. Just like that. All right, we're gonna salt it. A little bit of salt, just salt to taste. So go like that. That's good, that's probably perfect. And then we're gonna throw some more pepper into the rice, or the peppers and onions. I haven't put the rice in yet. Give it a good stir. Just like that. They're sweating down pretty easily. Let me turn that back burner off. Okay. Oh, that looks good. Okay, that's a good sweat. Now, let's go ahead and add our garlic to. Don't waste the garlic, James. Bad. Okay, there we go. Go ahead, stir that up. You know what? Let's throw some more butter. It's fun. Make that about 3 tablespoons of butter for the whole rice pilaf. All right, we got a lot of heat on there. Now we're gonna take the rice Dump the rice right in. Just like that. Get it stirred around. We're gonna toast it a little bit. Just toast it a little bit. I like it toasty. Well, then you're gonna like this rice because it's toasty. All right, so that's that. Just do a little bit of toasting, not too much, just like that. All right, looking good. Let's add that stock. Boom, nice heat. Now, a lot of people just cook this stuff on the stove. I don't, I just put it in the oven for 30 minutes. But first I cover it with aluminum foil. But that is your rice. And like I said, always taste. You don't have to eat the undercooked rice, but taste the sauce, make sure it's not too salty. Oh, that's good. All right, take that off. It's got a nice boil on it. Next thing we do, take your aluminum foil, slide that off, maybe throw it on a trivet. Just like that. We're gonna seal this thing up nice. Watch your hands. It's quite hot. I don't have any feelings in my hands. People that work in the restaurant business know, you kinda, especially if you're cooking all the time, you lose your feeling in your fingertips. So anyway, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, put that in the oven, set your timer, 30 minutes. So we're gonna do that for 30 minutes at 375. Set it and forget it, but don't forget it.
The Gourmet Apocalyptic. Cooking with instinct. Or something.
Kate, I really think we have a problem.
What happened?
I was just sitting out doing my little sun tanning thing, you know, trying to get a little sun, vitamin D. And then just these huge bees came and attacked me. They got me here twice.
What?
And once in my butt.
Wait,
Can you believe that? Yep.
That's horrible.
And you're telling me it hurts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
Anyway, I gotta go finish my food, so.
I got my.
All right, so we've got the rice pilaf, it's in the oven. We've got a good 30 minutes to get this thing really prepped up. Shouldn't take much longer than that for sure. Okay, so with the red snapper, and I meant to tell you this before, I used to use pompano for this dish. I couldn't find pompano anywhere around here, and I wish I could. I love pompano, and I love red snapper too. But anyway, take that for what it's worth. We're gonna make a pecan flour. So I've got all these pecans here. We're gonna have to pulverize them, and we're gonna make a flour into them. So we're gonna add it and mix it with flour. So the first thing is you'd probably wanna have a food processor. I've got one here. And so as you can see, I'm just gonna take those pecans. It's about a cup of pecans. Take them, put them in the food processor, and destroy them. You are destroyed. You are a pecan, and you mean nothing to me. Oh yeah. All right, so that's what we want to look like on the pecans. All right. So if you don't have a food processor, you can use a blender, but I will tell you a food processor would probably, I mean, they'll work. I mean, it'll cut it up. I mean, technically you could use a knife if you wanted to sit there and chop it for a long time. But anyway, so that's what we've got there. So I've got about 2 cups of flour right here. And I'm gonna just take my pecans that I made a little nice pulverization. I'm gonna pour that in there. You got a good shot of that? And we'll just mix it in. Don't waste the pecan. All right, pecan, there we go. So that is what we've got right there. All right. Okay, so we've got our pecan, we got our flour, that's all together. Now we're gonna add our salt. Remember, when we're salting the flour, you're gonna need a little bit more. That's where the flavor comes from. Yes, that should be enough. We'll add some pepper. Remember, it looks like a lot, but when you mix it, it's gonna be perfect. We're gonna use some cumin. I just take the top off and start pouring. It'll be probably about a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon and a half of the cumin, or cumin. And we're gonna use chili powder, about the same amount, about 1.5 teaspoons. Chili powder. Oh yeah, okay. So we got that, we got that. Okay, so now we're gonna mix this with our hands. Just get your hands. Remember, always wash your hands. Just like that. Okay, and don't forget to taste your flour. Make sure it tastes good. I really like the flour. Makes a nice pasty feeling in your mouth. Yeah, that's good. Okay. All right, now we're gonna do the egg wash really quick. Okay, so we're gonna use 1 egg. What makes it easier to stir around is just kind of whisking that egg really quick before you add your milk. Then add your milk. Use the force. It's about 1.5 cups of milk. And that's how we're gonna do our egg wash here. Okay, so the next step is get your oil ready for your snapper because we are gonna pan saute it, which is kind of like pan frying. So I've got the oil going in this pan right here. I put about that much oil. You can do less. I just want to cook it a little faster, make it a little deeper, but you can go thinner. Just don't get the oil too hot that you burn up your breading because that's not going to be good. Okay, so we got that pretty much ready. Let me check that. Yep, we're ready. So now we're going to do this. I usually set up my egg wash station like this. Egg wash, flour, plate, pan. That's how we do it. Or just from the flour to the pan. So we're gonna do this. Egg wash. And use one hand for egg wash, the other hand for your dry breading. Just like that, make sure it's fully coated. Oh yeah, looks good. So we're gonna just test this oil really quick, make sure it's about ready, and it's looking good, just like that. I just take a little flour and pinch it into it, and that's good. So now we're gonna take our snapper. Now be careful, do not burn yourself. Just lay it right in there. Just like that. Just like that. As we cook, you're gonna wanna watch the temperature on this oil. You don't want it to get too hot. I'm gonna slide it off This is the crappiest stove in the world. I just want you to know it. It is the crappiest stove and it will burn up. So this is a quick heat burner, and it says it goes all the way from really hot to low, but it doesn't. You can put it on low and it'll burn the crap out of everything. So that's why I'm sliding that off that heat. It can just fry, it's hot enough. And it's just gonna cook there. We're gonna cook this fish perfectly. And then we're gonna take it out and put it on a little bit of paper towel just to kind of blot out, draw that grease away from the breading, keep it crispy. Now, usually when I would be doing this, not for a show, I would be frying this, and then I'd be working up the sauce, and you can do that together. But for the sense of teaching, I'm just gonna do it this way. Now we're gonna flip this snapper. Take it like that. Just like that. So the main thing here too is the, you getting in my shot. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Lena, come on now. Okay, so here's the thing. With the snapper, my pieces of snapper were thicker. So if you got a thicker piece, you really want to take your time making sure it gets cooked, and you really, really don't want to burn it up. That will ruin it. I would say literally probably about 3 minutes on either side should get this cooked perfectly. Okay, everybody, it sounds like my timer's going off for the rice pilaf, so I'm gonna turn that timer off. Make sure you use the pot holder. Unless you're crazy, wanna get a branding. So here is our rice. I'm gonna leave the pot holder on there to warn myself, because I will go and grab it and I'll be like, oh man, not again. I burnt my hand. Honestly, you do that once, you know, you think twice about it. All right, so that's what we've got. Meanwhile, the fish is still frying over there. Just stir that up. Oh yeah, that rice is good to go. Just like that. We're gonna set that off to the side for a little bit. Okay, we're ready to pull the fish off. That looks perfecto. Just like that. That paper towel helped draw that grease off of it. Keep it crispy. I'm gonna slide the oil off of the heat right now. Just slide that oil right off the heat, and we are good to go. Now we've got our rice done, we've got our fish done. Now we're gonna knock that sauce out right now. Okay, so for this dish, you're going to need some garlic, but we're not gonna cut it up too bad. We're just gonna slice it. Just like that. Just like that. Now we just throw it together. Now we're just gonna throw this sauce together. So make sure you have all your stuff that you're gonna need, your mise en place, as they say. First things first, we're gonna melt off some butter. Say about 4 tablespoons. We're gonna add some shallots. We got it nice and hot. We're gonna add our shrimp. Now, I'm making this basically for 2 people. So, just like that. We're gonna get that shrimp cooked quickly. Okay, so the next thing, we're gonna kind of season it up a little bit. So I'm gonna throw some salt. Remember, salt and pepper to taste. Gonna lower that temp. Like I said, I hate this stove. We're gonna throw some garlic in there. Just like such. We're gonna throw pepper. Where are you, Pepper? Pepper! No, seriously, where are you, Pepper? Okay, so little chili powder. Just sprinkle it in, just sprinkle it in. A little bit of cumin, just a little, not too much. We're gonna do some pepper. We're gonna do some red pepper. And with the red pepper, don't put much. Just a little dab will do you. You just need a little spice from it. All right, we're getting close on that. Get it all sauteed up like that. Now we're gonna add some lemon juice. About 2 teaspoons. And let that reduce down a little bit. We want to be quick with this because we don't want the shrimp to overcook. A lot of people use peeled and deveined shrimp. In my style of cooking, I don't mind on the smaller shrimp if they're not peeled or deveined, so that's what I did. You see the sauce is kind of thickening up a little bit. Okay, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna add a little bit of these mangoes to it. Maybe about 1/3 of a cup. Am I splattering? Just like that. Let's get that pan hot again. Next step here is just using the Chambord. Now, like I said, this cheapo stuff that I got, I'm gonna use a little less, but usually use about 1 ounce for 1 serving. So I'm gonna do a little less, because I know how sweet it's gonna be. All right, it's looking good. As you can see, the sauce is kind of thickening up a little bit. And we're gonna finish this sauce with, guess what? We're gonna finish this sauce up once and for all with one of my personal favorites. No, it's not garlic because it's already in there. We're gonna take it off the heat. Everything's fully cooked now. Oh, almost forgot. Need a little dill. A little sprinkle will do ya, just like that. Gives color and a little flavor. Really quick, funny thing about this dill, this is an old thing of dill. I bought this at the restaurant 9 years ago when I was there. And I had it full when I got here, so I've used that much since I've been here. Dill lasts a long time. Okay, so we're gonna just add a little bit more butter to this. And this is gonna tighten up the sauce a little bit more, take it right off the heat. Just like this, lots of butter, just like that, and just gonna kind of stir that around. As you can see, that butter sauce, all it's made up of is butter, the lemon juice, the Chambord, and it thickens. And then you add a little more butter, and it thickens a little bit more for you. No flour, no nothing to keep it nice and pulled together. Now, if you kept it on heat and it got too hot, if you kept this thing on heat and it got too hot, the sauce would break and you'd have a very oily sauce, which you're not gonna wanna do. So keep it on a low heat when you cook it. That way you won't overcook it and you won't break the sauce. That's the key. All right, now we're gonna set this thing up. Okay, everybody, we made it. We made it to the final 4, or the final section, or the end time. Wait, the apocalypse. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and grab us some rice. We're gonna place it right in the middle. You're gonna kind of want to build it up. Come on in. Elena's going to the garden. She's got me some mint. Very good, very good. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So, I'm gonna build that up a little bit. Give it some height, just like that. Okay, now we're gonna take one of our fish fillets, take it, set it right on the top, just like such. And then we're gonna go ahead and top this thing off. Like I said, I made this for 2. But if you're anything like me, if it's a guy and a girl eating it, most likely the guy is going to be the pig. Now that's not always the case. And I'm not saying anything bad about my awesome Patreon patron, Heather, but that girl can eat. And she still stays really thin. It's really interesting. Anyway, make sure you get enough sauce on there. Big shout out to our other patron, Brandon, who is an awesome fisherman. I think he learned it from his dad, probably. Got some help from there. He's probably got a lot better fish to use for this dish, but he's not landlocked either. So that's good. Take our mint. I'm just gonna throw a big old thing on it. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, and then you have something to chew on to give you good breath after eating all that garlic. Mmm. Okay, everybody, we got this dish done, and I hope you're gonna have as much luck as I have because, man, this thing tastes sweet. Has a little sweet, little spice. It's really good. I think you're gonna enjoy it. You know, when we were talking about date night, you could have a father-daughter date or a mother-son date or whatever. But that's what we're gonna do. My daughter Elena is gonna taste with me. So go ahead, taste it, and let me know what you think. She loves how it cuts. Oh yeah, she loves how it cuts. That's always good. All right. Is it good? I better take a bite too. Pulverize it. We can do that, we can do that. Let's see. Okay. That's good. So, I will see you next time. Let me finish chewing. Okay, we'll see you next time on our next show. Don't forget, we'll have some updates and some little bonus features for all of our Patreon subscribers. And thank you all for everyone's subscription to our YouTube channel. And please share as much as you want. Share it with all your friends. And we'll be producing some more videos in the coming weeks. Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
The Gourmet Apocalyptor. Cooking with instinct. Or something.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. I hope yours turned out well. And also, if you like the video, you can go ahead and like our page or subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, if you really like the content or you just had fun watching it, we do have a link below to become a patron through our Patreon account. You can also help contribute to the funding of the program. So if you could, just go ahead and click on that and we'll get you all set up there. So within the next couple weeks, we'll be adding more episodes for your viewing pleasure. So once again, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.